Hi, my name's Pez. I'm the owner of Hogtunes. The purpose of this video is to explain our new 40.4 amplifier and all the different configurations it can be used in to develop a system that's best for your bike. The 40.4 amplifier is part of our Big Ultra kit, which comes with front and rear replacement speakers. The kit fits all 1998 to current Ultra Classics and Trikes, replacing the front and rear speakers. The amplifier makes 40 watts times 4 at 2 ohms for a total of 160 RMS watts. If a tweeter pod is present in any system you're doing, the tweeter pod and the front speakers become one. So the front channels of the amplifier will run the front speakers and the tweeter pod, and the other two channels of the amplifier will run speakers somewhere else on the bike. Like all of our other amplifiers, the 40.4 comes with max-based circuitry. This is a circuit we buy and is not an equalizer. It is a patented, tunable acoustic effect and allows us to control many aspects of the sound. The chips that come in the 40.4 are as powerful as an old 386 computer. It allows us to fine-tune the bass, the treble, we have crossovers, all kinds of effects, and stereo width we can play with. These amplifiers are very fine-tuned for a bike at speed, and once we have that data, we burn it into the chips that go into every single 40.4 amplifier. The supplied wire harness is 100% plug and play. All of the wires are the correct length and have the correct connectors on them, so they can only plug in one way. All of the plugs on the side of the amplifier are color-coded. The front output harness and plug is always black. The rear output harness and plug on the amp is always white. We have a bypass out on the amplifier, and if supplied, is always blue. Near the back of the bike, we have an 8-pin plug that sits on the rear fender strut. This allows use of this system with quick detached tour packs. The NCA 40.4 amplifier features a 2-channel and 4-channel switch. This allows you to fine-tune the way you want the amplifier to work. In 4-channel mode, this allows us to take input from the front and rear speakers. This way, using your factory fader, you can control the amplifier through the front and rear channels independently. In 2-channel mode, the amp will accept 2 channels of input from a bike that came with front speakers only, and all 4 channels of the amp will be driven equally. The heatsink of this amp is the main reason we called the amp NCA, better known as Not Car Audio. The heatsink angles at the front to match the fairing for plenty of clearance. The dish cut into the top of the amp allows large wire harness that runs across the speedo and tack to sit in without undue stress. The amplifier is fan cooled. This is a temperature sensitive fan that will only allow the fan to come on if the amp hits a certain temperature. The amplifier was tested at our Phoenix facility for several months and is plenty reliable in ultra hot climates. The rubber foot fills the void next to the CB module on all 2006 newer Ultras. The rubber foot bolts into threaded holes on the bottom of the amp. The end of the foot with the angle cut in must go adjacent to the fairing so it will clear. There is a small overhang built into this rubber foot so that when this overhang hits the back of the radio, we now know the amplifier is in far enough for the fairing to go back on. Whenever we're designing a system with the NCA 40.4, we use the amplifier power and the radio power to make as many speakers work as we can. On all models, we use front radio power plus the 4-channel amp for 6 potential channels of power. The bypass feature on this amplifier carries the radio power. Most commonly, it would be used to power an extra set of speakers. We can use this plug to send signal out of our amplifier into another amplifier later. So now we can start daisy chaining amplifiers, and we can start powering 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, up to 12 speakers if the bike can hold that many speakers. This will be entirely plug and play. Once you have our 4-channel amp, the system is completely expandable however you see fit. I hope you can see that the 40.4 amplifier really does become a building block, and that customers realize that once they have this system in their bike, they can start building on it for future needs.